Welcome to Sad Boys, a podcast about feelings and other things also. I'm Jarvis.
Oh, I like
I'm trying to drop my voice a little bit today.
Ooh. We actually just sound the way we always have.
I just want to, we've always sounded like this.
Oh, man.
We're joined by a very masculine friend of ours.
Guy like us, kind of like
He's kind of like us,
yeah.
but he's also not like us. Hashtag Kendrick. What up, Kenny? All right, we're joined by Ify Nwadiwe. What is up?
Hey, how's it going? How you doing?
We've brought you in for a very special episode of Sad Boys. This is like where we have to sit the kids down on like a Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
And really explain what's happening.
It's Buff Guy Bible Study.
Buff Guy Bible Study.
The priest is in.
We all woke up at 3:30 a.m.
Yeah, you were actually reading. We all woke up at 3:52 a.m. You were reading to a class of elementary school kids, and I came over and whispered in your ear that Ashton Hall had dropped a new morning routine.
You handled it stoically at the time, but obviously it hit you in a certain way. The camera zoomed dramatically.
But in that moment, you knew what you had to do, and it was to wage war against morning routines everywhere for their oil.
Well, no, for the weapon, it was
because he has methods of ass destruction.
That's methods of ass destruction. Yeah,
that hit Anastasia. Anastasia really connected with that one.
Okay, so
Doctor.
So Ify and I have been texting back and forth since since Ashton Hall's morning routine went viral. And at the risk of this being completely irrelevant by the time this episode comes out, we are gathered here today to discuss everything that is this man. I went from not knowing anything about him to knowing entirely too much, realizing he was way bigger than I even knew and had so much lore.
Yeah.
I've not invested as nearly as much time as the two of you have, partly to kind of discover it on the show.
Right,
but
we always need one, yeah.
I was delivered the big one.
Right.
Organically.
Where were you when you first saw the word?
Someone came to my ear, whispered. First of all, they hit a second tower. Irrelevant. 25 years old. I don't know why they were talking about that. But yeah, I saw it organically, and there's always that tiny little bit of like trad mask instinct I have to batter away, like a little cobweb. Yeah. Where you're like, so sick.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, fuck yeah, man. That's me.
Well, that's what's funny, because that's the realm I ended up covering, is seeing all these copycat videos where it started off with jokes, and then there's been now some like genuine copycats where they're like, this is cool. And I get it. I was in my early 20s once. I was in my early 20s once. I watched American Psycho, and I was like, aside from the like murderous intent, I like his morning routine.
Right. Why did they call it this?
Yeah, why did they call it American Cool Guy?
Yeah. Should be called Me in a Movie.
It should be called American Badass.
None of the scenes of him killing.
Just him waking up.
Yeah. Not to put you on blast, Ify, but we were at dinner the other day. We started. It's such a random thing. We were at this nice dinner in Los Angeles, and something happened where we all got on our phones to find the logins to our photo bucket account. And we were all like looking up. It was me, Ify M, and Gavin Very of Wizards of the Coast.
Yes.
And
that's such a funny sight. Like, we used to live in the moment. All these millennials always on their phone. It's like, well, I'm just trying to get into one password.
It was a bunch of millennials going back, like, and looking at the time capsule that has become our photo buckets. And there was a screenshot you showed me that was just speaking to your American Psycho past. It was you telling either, I don't know if it was a group chat or another friend.
Oh, yeah.
You were like, fellas, we've got to be the nice guys. Because when those bad boys break their hearts, we'll be there to catch their fall.
Like that. And I need you to understand, this is something I screenshotted and then shared publicly, because I thought there was like, oh no.
You also
You're welcome.
You were also like, we get this label. Nice guys. You put nice guys in quotes.
And it's like, I'm not wearing a cape. I'm just here to save you.
I'm just here.
Right, of course.
When the world beats you down, I'm here to fix you back
But I think
up.
that's an important thing, because like, who does this stuff speak to? And I think for as much as people like to make fun of women on TikTok who are doing like aesthetic get ready with me's, or like, look at my perfect kitchen, I made everything from scratch and everything's beige, or whatever. Like, this is like boy that. I feel
100%. I think this is all linked into the death of celebrity, right? Where like before, like I was thinking, it was like a tweet thread I had way back when everyone was losing their mind over, it was that one game show where people had to guess people and it was just a picture, and this black woman didn't know who Sabrina Carpenter was, and they were like, how could you not know? And I was like, it's because like Sabrina Carpenter is famous to you, but like the love, like fame is not the same.
People do not know how personalized to them their feed is.
Yeah, where back in the day it was
which could
like,
be happening to us right now. People are gonna be watching this going, what the fuck are you guys talking about?
But it's like it really has changed where it's, back in the day, if you had a pop star, that pop star popped on TGIF Fridays, was in all the sitcoms everyone was watching, would do late night spots. Like there was no way to miss a pop star because they were injected.
Miss Elvis.
They were injected in all forms of media. And now we have this very personalized sense of media. You know, movie theaters are still struggling to bounce back from the pandemic because there's so many people who would rather wait to stream it or wait to just do things at home and see exactly what they want to see.
Or where consuming traditional entertainment media, like that cavity is filled with just scrolling and other
Exactly.
There is a set amount of time in the day. And even the idea that everyone is watching Netflix is a misnomer based on like an older relationship with media. Getting me to watch any streaming platform episode of anything is like pulling teeth. I will maybe do that if there's a zeitgeist show like Severance or something.
It like has to be Severance.
But that's the only thing I've watched on Apple TV in like 2 years.
But if you even think of that, like Severance, the biggest thing, but also Yellow Jackets, which was another big thing, kind of came and went because Severance kind of took hold as.
And I need to watch Yellow Jackets because people were recommending that to me way back when, and now Severance is over, and I have a mystery box hole filled. Hold on, mystery box shaped hole in my heart that I need to fill.
Oh, in your heart, good.
Yeah,
but you know, and that is all through like memes, and I think when people like, I've seen so many like, okay, I'll watch Severance because it's in the like cultural zeitgeist on these like mini communities online. So back in the day, you had, you know, these tastemakers that were pop stars, or these like families, like, we make fun of the Kardashians, but they were like the tastemakers for a lot of women everywhere, where it's like, that's the life I want to achieve. That's how I want to look. Paris Hilton was the same way.
It's like they wouldn't have a business if they couldn't get an audience that wanted to be like them, you know?
And like now, I was at the gym earlier and I was watching a Roadhouse, and I was like, Patrick Swayze doing fucking Tai Chi in the forest. I was like, oh, this statement I'm making hit me at that moment where it's like, oh, this is why we have, these Ashton Halls, because there isn't like the macho guy who everyone looks to anymore. Right. It is so dispersed. Like, I'm looking at Patrick Swayze, I was like, how could anyone think someone like Elon Musk or anyone in that camp is cool? When I'm looking at Patrick Swayze shirtless doing Tai Chi, I was like, oh, I get why people are like, that's my vibe now. That's who I'm going to be.
There's something very, I do think also this guy, Ashton Hall, he is kind of broaching an aesthetic that I think has become appealing, and for a very specific period of time, a very specific male loneliness epidemic, because Ashton Hall, and I hate to indulge in terms like this, is Sigma coded.
Yeah.
And the identifying vision of the Sigma is that you may be...
you're a lone wolf. You walk your own path.
And maybe that's because you just don't connect with other people for whatever reason. And the next step should be like investigating as to why and how much of that is addressable. But there's something like this aching silence is connecting with people in a way that like enthusiastic and engaged aesthetics feels unachievable. Like I can't do that in the woods. I don't go outside, but I can do sitting with no music.
Exactly. Like, it is funny because it's like, there are so many ways that offer this like actual type of like control and zen. There are martial arts, there are many hobbies, there are many things you can do to achieve what is being pretended to be achieved in this. But it's like, faux millionaire aesthetic. And this
the aesthetic is the only thing that matters.
It's the aesthetic. It's looking, and like, everyone's like, yeah, I can do that. But like in actuality, that man does not look like that because he's doing push-ups and then squatting and drinking Saratoga Water.
Because he has twerk time at 4:20
this man
a.m.
hasn't even looked at bread for years.
Right.
This man is putting in like hours at the gym. It is painful to look that cut and buff.
He's eerily removing a face mask and monologuing to himself.
Exactly. You know, and he's rubbing banana peels on his face. Motherfucker, there are real good skincare routines.
Yeah.
How you gonna ignore my bitch Kate Somerville and gonna put this and you gonna put bananas on your face? There are products, baby. Murad got your fucking back.
Yeah.
There are whole
the cash,
Korean,
bro.
the whole Korean companies that will keep you looking good, and you in there rubbing banana peels on your face.
It would be great if he does that with his entire breakfast. Just rubs loose, wet granola into his eyes to like really loosen them up.
So I don't want to
the
put
coffee all over his face.
I don't want to put the cart too far before the horse here. I think there's a lot that I want to say. There's a lot of Ashton Hall and how he fits into kind of some of the manosphere stuff, some of the grind set dudes, some of the things that are kind of our bread and butter overlap in ways I wasn't expecting, but also in ways that I was expecting. So the first thing I'll mention is that Ashton Hall is his name, but most people do not know his name, which is kind of crazy because he also has 9 million followers on Instagram and has had a big Instagram for a long time. And I'd still never seen this man before in my life.
I know.
The other thing,
He doesn't really need a name.
Exactly. The other thing is that the thing that went viral and made this a viral moment was on X the Everything app on a where he's being freebooted by a men's inspiration style like slop account. Like let's watch the original. Let's watch the post that started us all. So that we can get deeper into
I like what
Ashton's
you're
loins.
tapping into. Yes. Yeah. Tips for men, fashion, essentials, luxury.
By the way, if you look at the other posts on this Twitter account, it's like
that's what I was going to say. Well,
Reeves' costume from the Matrix.
I really want to. You know, it's so funny that we started on the idea of goofing on this that I think we're gonna crack something that I really want to talk about now,
And we've got
because
time.
it all loops into everything that led to this past election. Everyone was talking about masculinity and how it's and how there's no space on the left for men to be masculine. And I think there is some truth in that, but I think that is because we need to deconstruct what masculinity is.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we'll get into that. I want to break down some certain things. So if you don't mind, I'm going to ask you to pause at certain points. But first, before we even get started, everyone's asking about the tape on the mouths. It's the brand literally called Hostage Tape. So that is for mouth breathers in your sleep. You cover your mouth to force yourself to breathe out of your nose.
I could also probably wearing a nose strip, I believe.
He's also wearing a nose strip to like open up the airway.
So right off rip, this nigga has sleep apnea.
That's romantic version of this is him removing
like
the
he's
machine.
doing all this like super like this man needs a CPAP machine and he's
So it's a TikTok trend, the mouth taping.
But
it's a TikTok
what you're missing
trend.
is if they did a CPAP machine that had like Jared Leto's Joker on it or something, then maybe he can have that, but he's not allowed to.
It has like sleep scrawled in chalk across the mouth. So the other thing, so I will say, as a sleep apnea haver, as also a deviated septum haver and a mouth breather in my entire life up until last year when I got deviated septum surgery.
So Jarvis just did
that was just me breathing with both nostrils, not the flex. But
can we cut out when he just did that rail of cocaine?
the rail of invisible cocaine. What I started getting as a sleep apnea haver, my Instagram algorithm got wise to it and started advertising to me Hostage Tape. And what I would like to say is if I were to put Hostage Tape on my mouth, I would die in my sleep because I couldn't breathe through my nose.
Yeah, I see. That's my big fear.
It doesn't just fix your mileage may vary, right?
Yeah.
Like I think that there's value to breathing through your nose. Obviously, that's like why CPAP machines and things exist. But I don't know the science on specifically this product, but this has become a big trend in this space, and that's what he's engaging in. So it's almost like a dog whistle.
Yeah.
Of like, I'm giving you a shortcut to know the kind of guy I am.
Yeah, that I'm doing everything I can to sleep well.
But
Which
not in a gay way with a CPAP machine.
Sucking on the hog of a robot machine. I will say, good sleep is an important part to like working out and getting strong. I think that's one that's often skipped right next to nutrition. So
in fact, I think he's skipping it right now by waking up at 52 a.m.
I know. But also these huge chocolate chip nipples. I'm surprised out of all the things we've talked about in this video, we've not mentioned his nipples once.
Between that and the chicken bake, I'm gonna have to go with the double chunk chocolate nipples.
Yeah, I don't know if this is gonna ruin your YouTube video, but I'm never gonna mention a man's nipples without revealing mine.
I think we're deep enough into the video that it doesn't matter. I'm not gonna reveal my nipples, but I would say I have similarly sized nipples.
Yeah,
and so I won't shame. I won't name and shame.
I'm not shaming because I used to have like very thick boy nipples, and then like now they've kind of, and it is colder in here.
It is colder in here. We do that for the nipple feel.
Yeah, for a good nipple feel.
Yeah, I'm still going with the jacket because it is piercing my shirt a lot.
Right.
Of the time.
Well, you have needle tips.
That is. I did replace them for aesthetic.
Yeah.
All right, we can move on to this
frame one of the video.
Now, for the audio listeners, it is exactly what you're thinking.
Yeah.
Just whatever your guess is, it's just an extremely jacked man wearing hilarious tape over his face.
Yeah.
Maybe
purple light.
Sleeping shirtless?
Yeah, purple light.
Sleeping shirtless with chain.
As we go through this video, another thing people keep bitching that is great on the other side of it is like, yes, this man is setting up cameras for each one of this shot. He went to go turn on his LEDs to get bisexual lighting on him, which, you know, if he found out that's what it was called, we would see a different color in the next one.
I will say there has been a shift in the world. Because when I was younger, I'm sure you remember this. Remember the term metrosexual?
Mm-hmm.
If you were a guy who took care of yourself, even the original run of like Queer Eye, I feel like that word came up. I don't know if it did, but that was the zeitgeist.
I think so. Yeah, I think
because it was like, oh, I don't want to be it's not masculine to take too much care of yourself.
Oh yeah,
to try
brushing your teeth, dude. Freaking metrosexual.
We talked about it with Josh last week, right? Where we were talking about how like the flaw is trying, and it doesn't even really matter what you're trying.
It really is like a holdover where we forget the time that romance was really just financial security for women, and so men didn't have to try.
Well, he's kind of going back to that a little bit.
Yeah, we're gonna look. Like I said, this is going to be an episode on masculinity because it's something that's been on my mind. And what's great is I have friends with platforms that I can do the things I never have the ADHD patience to make a video essay for.
That's what we're here for.
Okay.
This episode is sponsored by Squarespace.
Squarespace is an all-in-one website platform that allows you to stand out and succeed online. Whether you're just starting out or managing a growing business, Squarespace allows you to create a website, engage with your audience, and sell anything from products to content to time for services.
We use Squarespace for the Sad Boys website, and if a couple fools like us can do it, so can you. You're not a fool, you're a damn genius compared to us. And
we're fools. We're foolish.
I'm smart, you're the dumb one. And the new design intelligence tools allow you to quickly create and maintain your dream website or online shop.
Squarespace gives you everything you need to offer services and get paid all in one place, from events and experiences to consultations. Showcase your offerings with a customizable website that's designed to attract customers and grow your business. You can get paid on time with professional on-brand invoices and timely payments. Plus, you can streamline your workflow with built-in appointment scheduling and email marketing tools.
Squarespace also offers a complete library of professionally designed and award-winning website templates with options for basically every use and category. No matter what it is that you need, your website can be customized and tweaked fully to your specific purpose, and it has this nice little intuitive drag-and-drop editing style.
Squarespace Domains makes it easy to find the best name for your business at one fair, all-inclusive price, no hidden fees or add-ons required, and every domain comes with advanced privacy and security tools included, so you can make sure that your domain is protected and remains online.
So start building your dream website today by heading to squarespace.com/sadboys.
And when you're ready to launch that site, use code SADBOYS, that's us, for 10% off your first purchase. Thanks again to Squarespace for sponsoring this episode. Now back to the boys.
Let's rip. Rubs his hands together, rips off the tape. Brushes teeth. All right, stop right here. So this already was the first time I was like, what the fuck is happening? Like, this is right out the gate, Saratoga spring water to wash your mouth out instead of just using the sink water.
You're spitting it out.
Yeah.
And if you're not spitting it out, you shouldn't be swallowing it because you're not supposed to swallow
Did he
toothpaste.
brush his teeth for less than 1 minute?
He brushed his teeth for 2 minutes. I counted.
Okay. And also,
no. Like, allegedly, assuming this is a correct...
Also, worth
Not
noted,
sponsored.
other Top Chef fan. I've only been aware of Saratoga, like the sparkling water.
If he walked in with this, by the way.
yeah. I will
He
have
walked
you
in
know.
shirtless. We begged him to put a shirt on.
So shirts on.
And he ripped. He took the cap off the bottle and started pouring it down his chest. And we said, "Ify, we have to record."
Yeah, so I had to. So we scooped it back up, put it in
we
here.
scooped it back up, drop by drop.
But when I went to buy this as a bit, I wanted to buy like a bigger pack, and I was gonna like walk in carrying that and some ice.
We can put the photo you sent me up.
Yeah, it's completely sold out. All of Saratoga still water is which is funny because then you know it's specifically because of him, because this is what Top Chef pushes, is the sparkling. So watching this, not knowing they had a still water, I was losing my fucking mind because I thought he was washing his mouth with sparkling water.
I thought that too. I thought that too, and I had to double check.
Yeah,
It does feel like one of the habits I've certainly fallen into and like tried to fight as I've gotten older, but is still a dangerous instinct because of the material reality that we live in, is solving by consuming, right?
Yeah.
Is like, well, okay, clearly this guy's working out a lot and has strong nutrition and he's claiming to have this routine. I could do all of that, but what can I do right now by spending money? I can get a Yeti tumbler. Now I'm making progress in my life.
It's so funny because I have a 50-50 stance on that, right? Where like if someone's like, Ify, I'm trying to get into the gym, I'm trying to get excited about it, I want to get it. My big thing is like, buy something you'll be excited to bring to the gym, whether it's like new gym gear, whether it's like a new, like a Fitbit or something that like you're like reminds you why you purchased it. But it is, there's a trap you can fall into where you purchase something and then your brain's like, well, we did the thing, and you don't, and it just kind of falls by the wayside, especially for ADHD folks. I bought this Whoop to like work out more, and then because it has a thing where you can make a community of friends, and then it gives you like rankings. So like it kept me so invested for so long, and then the moment my friends stopped being competitive, I fell off, and I was like, oh, I needed the competitiveness.
That was
to
me
keep
with Fitbit.
Yeah. It's like, so maybe we need to get you on the Whoop because I need rivals. I need a Gary up.
But it is it's always tempting to like, I mean, the truth is that a lot of people aren't taking care of themselves because they are understandably depressed, or they don't understand how to get the momentum going on something, and tricking them into thinking it's buying tape is not, and yes, it will help with your nose, but it's not the thing that's in the way.
Yes.
And more often than not, it's friends, community, something like that.
I want to, just for the listener, clarify the Top Chef thing. If you don't know, if you don't watch Top Chef, they have been pushing Saratoga spring water for years. I never saw it in the wild, never tried it, like never bought it.
Never used it to wash your mouth out.
Never used it to wash my mouth out. But I don't think they were making it appealing for consumers the way this guy is, where it's like, it will make you him.
And I know what you're thinking. No, he's not sponsored. And yes, that's crazy.
It is like, it is so wild how much. Also, just kind of looking at these scents right here.
That's a lot.
Because I am such a slut for scents. I can see that Tom Ford, that red one. I think that's Tom Ford. I believe that is going to be Le Labo behind on the leftmost side, right there.
You think he gives it a little spin to choose?
Oh, definitely. And I'm sure all
wheel.
of his scents are completely ass. These are like basic bitch ass scents. Like if you want to smell like me, I'm Le Labo Tonka and I fuck with patchouli, and then I layer it with Jazz Club by Mason Margiela or Coffee Break.
Saratoga in the eyes.
Yeah.
Josh wine in the ass.
Yeah. It's just so funny because I used to think this a lot, where it's, you know, you can buy like the like things that you know are like cool and expensive, but you can't buy taste. And like I look, I'm not going to pat myself on the back, but I am often told I smell good. So
You can
I think
inform yourself
yeah.
and learn something, but you can't immediately instinctually learn something by buying the right thing.
All right.
It's you got to smell better.
Let's play a little bit more. I want to get deeper into this because he has multiple morning routines, and everyone's seen this one.
Yes.
And I want to look at some
so I won't be so, because we're only 7 seconds in the video.
With this happens.
I just recorded 3 hours on just this.
This is an absolute. This is.
Sorry, just can you run back the push-ups and how squeaky they are?
Yeah. Because he's doing the breaths with them.
Sounds like he's inflating
in the twerk time.
There are action films with fewer cuts than just happened here.
and less funny cuts. He has perfect comic timing on all of these.
And since you've known the timing, what is the timing he's spent on this workout?
Like 5 minutes.
Absolutely.
So 17 minutes from walking into this. Twerk time lasts roughly a minute, and then
sad walk lasts 3 minutes.
He does drink the Saratoga water during twerk time, and then there's a few times where he closes his eyes, I think, to like do breath work, but it just looks like he's sleepy because he's up at 4 a.m.
Because he's trying to do like, once again, it's like the aesthetic of it without doing it, because you're talking about working out and then meditating, and I can't think of a worse place to meditate than on a balcony with a loud city outside, shirtless in slacks,
standing up.
Standing
Which
up.
is crazy.
It's the same lighting as a morgue.
I was gonna say, pointing out the how he captured these shots. He also brought the purple light with him from the bathroom. So you could see like it is just this harsh light. You could look at where his shadow is cast to see that he just set up his like big ass purple light in the corner.
Well, what's usually would be admirable about a lifestyle this regulated is the fact that it, like, you know, in real life, things like exercising, eating, living regularly, sleeping, sex, all of these things that are presented in as clinical a way as possible in media, because that's what seems the best for some reason. The thing that are like human about those things is how messy and silly they are. For him to kind of skip the like exhaustion point of his workout just makes it look like a bad workout. It doesn't acknowledge the intensity of it.
Yeah, and when he looks like that, that is not from push-ups. I have to.
I think that's important to say.
They were very squeaky.
He's also been an athlete his whole life.
Which lets I know what he's doing. He's doing like strength training for real. Like this is and
it's impressive.
Oh,
but it's the false. It's the Liver King of it all, where it's like I get this way by eating raw meat only, and that's like you're capping.
No,
brother.
I woke up so early.
Actually, Liver King shows more of his workouts than this guy does. Yeah.
So I just need to I have to point out, he meditated over the book question mark.
Which I think is a Bible. From a different video. From a different video. Yeah, he said a meet and greet. From a different video, I've seen a different angle, and I do think it's a Bible.
Which means so we can assume
second book is journal.
We can assume that he's praying then.
Yeah,
which
I think he's praying, because then he takes a little journal and then he watches a sermon.
He's screen maxing
on his sorry, you can just play it and you'll see what I mean.
So we're gonna be serious about the Lord's business.
Hold on, can we run back just to get the timing of the sermon? Because
he watched it for like roughly 30 minutes.
Okay,
Jesus.
Okay, that's a realistic sermon.
I watched this too long.
It's always possible
because now I know a lot.
Did you dream about him last night?
I dreamed a whole morning routine. Actually, from when it was 3:52 a.m. and I was asleep, I was inside of my mind palace having this morning routine. Kind of like when Goku shadow boxes, you know? He's like, Can I just say something really quick about the ice, emptying the ice into the bowl?
Yes.
So I went to his Instagram, and this shot of his, now if you just, that frame is his thumbnail for like 6 morning routines. And if you go to his Instagram and look at the Reels tab, it like is 6 of those. And I glanced at it and thought I was seeing something I wasn't supposed to see. So yeah, you just see like how it's like, brother. All right.
Oh, a difference. It's like, actually, I thought you literally meant the same photo, but it is
no.
multiple
He's
times.
like
Wow.
different. But then you can just see how deeply he's flexing while he pours
Yeah.
this. And I was like, it's not that heavy of a.
Yeah. No, that is
all
not
right,
that
we
much.
can go back to the thing.
Ice peen pose.
Yeah, ice pee.
Oh, Anastasia, Jesus.
These are good shorts. Like my favorite. part of
Worthy.
it.
Compression socks.
Yeah, no, I don't need.
And then you got to put on. Oh, stop.
Got
You got to
accessories.
put on your work when you now, Ify, when you go to the gym,
There's
you put on your Whoop, you put on your $7,000 Van Cleef bracelet,
Yeah.
you put on your Rolly.
yeah. The Whoop stays on because it like tracks my sleep and stuff. There's nothing I hate more when I'm working out than stuff on my wrist.
Oh,
like
especially
this
if it
is the
moves
only
around.
exception. Yeah. So like him putting that on, especially to what we know he's about to be doing, I can't think of worse things to be doing. The only thing I can assume is as a automatic Rolex watch haver is this is when he charges it up for the week, because them motherfuckers will like just I am constantly setting watches, all my automatic watches.
Also, I'm not the biggest like weight room guy.
Yeah.
But I feel like wearing a ring
Oh, 100
on a
yeah.
barbell or
It
something.
is, yeah. I am so afraid of being degloved. Yeah.
Yeah,
no.
okay.
Yeah.
Cool, because like that seemed crazy to me.
Yeah.
But he's not lifting weights. Because
Yeah.
why would he doesn't do that? That's not how he got
He
this body.
just did his upper body.
Yeah.
He can just flex his muscles, whichever muscle he wants, and that's
Yeah.
how he works it out.
Some ice. So scary.
Yeah.
That's my favorite part. Oh yeah, my
Yes.
other favorite part.
Yeah.
All right, so we've got to address it. What is probably an editing error, but is very funny, is that from 7:36 to 7:40, he is suspended midair.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah. He's there.
All right. So my favorite part about this, so much has been said about that. My favorite part is how he's about to get in the water, get out of the water, and then get into more water because he's gonna switch to the jacuzzi.
Yeah.
And it's a very funny cut.
Do you
Wait. That gets me every time, dude.
But also worth noting, he doesn't even have the jet streams going in the jacuzzi. Here goes. Also, we do need to go back to. Can we go back to the banana eating scene? There was a whole joke made years ago on Black Twitter about how you eat a banana around men to not appear gay, and he does it.
Does he do it from
unironically?
below?
Yeah, because he was like when you're eating banana and he stops and he snaps the banana and he shakes it up,
Yeah.
it's like nuts and throws it in his mouth.
Right.
And
It's just really casual.
Yeah.
It's like a way to get banana all over your hands.
Yeah,
but
I
at
know.
least you're not. It doesn't look like you're eating a penis.
Yeah.
It's like the way to ignore the like deliberate genetic growth of the way that we've conditioned bananas
Yeah.
for convenience. And it's like, yeah, but what if the no one here sees me do it?
Exactly.
I do like the primalness of it because I always think about how we genetically engineered bananas to not have seeds all over the place.
Yeah.
It's just fun.
Just
fun.
shout outs to bananas, honestly.
Shout out
Yeah.
to the Cavendish. Rest in peace.
time is it? 8:43.
Is the Cavendish the one that's like kind of really hard to get now?
The green
Or is
one
it
with
the
all
other
the-
one?
I can't remember, but yeah, there are certain
The-
bananas
the
that are
original,
extinct.
The original banana that was the biggest banana. like
That candy is actually flavored.
The candy's
after.
flavored after, I think, is the Cavendish. This would be another.
look
If I
it
get it right, it's a random Jarvis fact. Why is it in his brain? Oh, okay, so that's the one that's current. What was the banana
Extinct
that nearly
banana.
went extinct? Popular banana nearly goes extinct. Phew. The Gros Michel.
Gros Michel.
The Gros
banana.
Michel.
That's the name of one of the
The
cars
Gros
in
Michel. Okay, all
Balatro.
right. Anyway, shout out to American Interventionist.
Yep.
Banana Republic.
Yeah.
all
Any of
that
it.
jazz. Just shout
Bananas
out to
and pajamas.
shout out to South America and how America decimated and did all kinds of putting dictators in power. And,
I think it's bad, but yeah, sure, if you like it.
no, just shout out to it. I want to just raise awareness.
I mean, I like the Contra game.
Shout out to History America's IB History HL. Shout out Dr. Schmidt, Eastside High School 2010. That's my fucking dude. All right, let's go on.
This episode of Sad Boys is sponsored by ZocDoc.
Jordan, question for you. When was the
Hello.
last time you needed to go to the doctor, but then you pushed it off because you were like, I'll just do it tomorrow, but then tomorrow never came?
Are we poking my index fingers together because I'm guilty?
Is
'cause
it
I've
every
done that.
time?
It's
Is
a
it every
lot,
time?
Yeah.
It's every time.
But thanks to ZocDoc, there's no reason to delay anymore. They make it so easy to find and book the perfect doctor that's right for you instantly.
ZocDoc is a free app and website where you can search and compare high-quality in-network doctors and click to instantly make an appointment.
We're talking about booking in-network appointments with more than 100,000 doctors across every specialty, from mental health to dental health, from primary care to urgent care, and more.
You can filter for doctors who take your insurance, who are located nearby, and are a good fit for your medical needs, all highly rated by verified patients.
Once you find the right doctor, you can see their actual appointment bookings for once, choose a time slot that works for you, and click to instantly book it.
Appointments through ZocDoc, they happen fast. We're talking at 24 to 72 hours from booking, and you can even score same-day appointments because they're so fast.
I used ZocDoc when I first moved to the US, and then when I moved from San Francisco to LA, both times to find the doctor that was right for me, in me network, nice and close by, because it's always kind of boring finding anyone.
So stop putting those doctor appointments off and go to ZocDoc.com/sadboys and click to instantly book an appointment with a top-rated doctor today.
Well, that's ZocDoc.com/sadboys. ZocDoc.com/sadboys.
Thanks to ZocDoc for sponsoring this episode.
This rocks.
Absolutely not.
I forgot he does the ice again. Doing the ice again is crazy.
It's reloading.
We're gonna watch more of the morning routines, so I won't say the remixes he does on the ice bowl. We'll just get to that later. Oh, and there's the light, by the way. I feel
We
that-
see it right there. Yeah,
That's a purple light. This motherfucker loves purple light.
yeah.
It's a royal color, so that's how I
of
remind
course.
myself of the Kings.
Yeah.
You know, we used to be kings.
Holding it down.
Oh man, can't make those jokes with you because it just becomes, because
Monarchy.
the monarchy. I don't actually know what I'm saying.
Oh, the monarchy.
Because you love you.
I
love
forgot
your
about
king.
him. I need to get back to the palace.
Yeah.
Back to the Palace is definitely a video
I was-
idea.
I was telling Jarvis this yesterday, but classic Hollywood actress Joan Crawford was famous for her morning routine was putting ice on her face because she claimed it closes your pores. I don't know if that's true, but
Don't your pores need to be open to an extent?
Well, having them open can allow like bacteria and stuff, which gets breakouts. But another way you can close your pores is just alcohol or any other skincare thing that does that for you or protects it.
Banana.
Yeah.
Rub an apple core on your face.
Yeah,
spill a bunch of compost all over your
Yeah,
body.
You rub that stuff that Tony Stark put on his face in Tropic Thunder.
Nano machines.
Blackface.
Blacks.
shoe
Okay.
polish.
If do you do any ice related
Oh
behaviors?
yeah. How do you feel about? Because I know there's merits to it and stuff, but
Well,
I'm scared. So
Like cryotherapy,
Yeah.
I've done I've done, which I'm gonna get into. I've done like a lot of videos back when I was at BuzzFeed. That was a lot of like, this is some fitness stuff. So like a lot of the stuff I tried, cryotherapy, yeah, it helps with recovery. It's great. It's cold as shit.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there are benefits to dunking your face in ice. I think it's similar to like an ice bath.
yeah.
I don't think it's like primarily necessary.
In my headcanon, he's just trying to wake himself up because he got up so early.
Yeah. He's like, this is how I
just go to bed, bro.
I did used to take cold showers in the morning when we were still working like an office, and it felt like I should optimize my lifestyle.
Yeah.
And I got really invested in it. I was proselytizing it around the country. But
You told me about it.
It was just a rhythmic thing. Like, it's a thing I did every day. That's why it felt good, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And also, I was sleeping poorly, so I was just waking myself up. That adrenaline spike was done by the time I got to the office. But it was like, it was really very nice to have something that I could say was my, look, I'm doing something. I'm drinking Saratoga Water.
If this is hot and this is cold, when Jordan, you told me about cold showers, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to try this. So I started hot, and I go, okay, lukewarm. I can do this. Ooh. No. Yes. Again, then I never did it again. You know what I mean when you run the cold shower and then you go, you like start not being able to breathe.
Yeah.
I'm a shower gooner, I'll admit it.
I wish I could do it. My body's not built for it. I'm a little wimpy baby. But I do LeBron James $1 million a year body care routine that involves cryotherapy, but I just do it to podcasts.
Get locked in.
Yeah, if you're locked in on them pods.
Yeah.
You're focusing on the longevity. And I
They're gonna show highlight reels of me holding a microphone for like 20 years straight. And they're going to be like, how does he do it? Nobody's doing it like him.
Straight buckets for 20 years.
He was a podcaster in the league when he was 18 years old, and he's a podcaster at 40. How does he do it, dude?
Yeah.
All right.
Not the best of all time, though. Sorry.
Well, there was a guy. Joe Rogan came in for a few good years.
Yeah.
So looking at it, bro, we got to go ahead and get in at least 10,000.
Dude.
So in all of his,
Gotta
I've
get
watched multiple of these.
10,000.
In all of his morning routines, he has a little segment of like a conversation. And every time it's so fucking funny to me. Because so in his later one, I'm going to spoil it because it's a grown moment. He goes, all right, bro, we got to get at least 20,000. Because he's like, guys, I'm escalating comedy.
Yeah.
And then, but in the earlier ones, it's just like random things. And then I was like, who is he talking to? Is it time for me to reveal this?
Sure.
He just does coaching. He does what all of these fucking people do. You pay him a bunch of money. He talks to you on the phone about your business plan.
Which starts with how many thousands?
And then guess what? He coaches coaches. So it's not a pyramid scheme. It's a multi-level structured plan.
Oh, phew, that was close.
He coaches to coach other people.
And if they bring in their coaches, then
They
maybe
can
he
get
gets a little bit off the top.
But then they coach, and then, soon they'll be a coach with a bunch of coaches.
Exactly.
Oh, my
And-
nose
and
is bleeding.
and he's selling nothing. Like he's not, because being a coach and never having to reveal what you do and what products you offer means that we know he's just making money from telling other people how to make money.
Oh, yeah.
And so
And
it's like the Andrew Tate thing where it's like you've just duped a bunch of people.
Yeah, it really is because, and it's through things like this where people are like, I want that. And it's like, we can, if we really wanted to, if we want to give ourselves another project, recreate everything in this video by the end of the week, we would just find a high-rise Airbnb, get a bunch of our friends. It's so easy to make it seem like we live this lifestyle. I gotta say, those are the weakest strips of turkey bacon I've ever seen in my life. This is
Too symmetrical. That's creeping me out.
That's the base level. That is Ginny O's in there right there. Which Ginny O's I'm not dissing on because they got me through some times. But I will say, like, if we're trying to like go with affluences or pretend you have a personal chef, they wouldn't make Ginny O's turkey bacon for you. They would probably make some type of turkey breakfast that was made with like fresh poultry.
But she's not just a personal chef. She is disembodied woman who does every job.
Who's
If ever I
like,
need hands to hand me something, she's on the case.
There's something eerie to me about
Multifaceted.
recording anyone in the same style they do a parent from Charlie Brown.
No, dude, I said it's a cerebellum from fucking Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I'm excited to get into some unturned stones. I guess.
He's not eating enough, right?
So there's a few. Well,
I don't want to get into.
It's like 2 meals for 9 a.m. or whatever.
Well, I will watch. Well, let's see the plate, and because that you bring up a good point that I want to bring up.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so we'll stop right there. So that's avocado toast. Three or 4 slices of turkey bacon.
Yeah.
And what I'm gonna assume is about like 4 or 5 eggs. That isn't enough. So I did a BuzzFeed video where we had to eat as much as an NFL player who like broke it down. And mind you, this person was like D-line. I think it was what's his face? It was like a bigger dude, but even then, like you're definitely gonna want to eat way more than this. And if you're counting that, if I'm counting the banana, and then this is 9:25. So you're breaking out of breakfast. Now you would have needed to eat way more than that.
His background, as we know it, he was an athlete. He played in high school, college. He was like a defensive end or defensive tackle.
Yeah,
and he never played in the NFL, but he was cut from a practice squad, I think.
Yeah.
In 2010.
Waking up too early.
So in 2010. So that puts him somewhere in his 30s right now.
Yeah. And I will say he's definitely lost a lot of weight since then. At defensive end.
Right.
Like I have a friend who like just recently, used to do practice squad stuff, and he was like, like half back and just huge. So like looking at like him, I'm like, oh yeah, this is like a couple years off. But even then, I feel like for the maintenance of the muscles that I saw, you're going to need to eat way more than that.
Yeah,
like,
we did an escape room with Johnny Stanton.
That's who I'm talking about.
Yeah. And I'm like, motherfucker is gigantic.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, he looks great.
By design.
I mean, but like even just like to have the frame to put everything on.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, bro's a shelf.
Yeah.
It's alchemy. Like you are.
It's so cool.
Has to go
It's
from
like,
one place to another.
It's actually like almost like I'm seeing a shiny Pokemon where I'm like, damn, this is crazy. Like if I saw
Is that allowed?
I once
I'm gonna text him right now and be like, what would you eat for breakfast in like your peak days?
Oh yeah, that'd be great.
Like a little bit of egg whites and a tall glass of OJ.
I went to this is gonna sound bad. I was once in VIP at a Drake concert. The year was 2015, 2016.
Mm-hmm.
It was when Kevin Durant had just signed with the Warriors. One of my former coworkers at Yelp was childhood friends with a photographer on OVO, and he had a +2 for the VIP section. And he said to me and my friend Sean, "You guys are the only guys I know who like Drake." It was a different time.
Stranger Things had only just come out, so Millie Bobby Brown was not involved.
And so we went to the VIP area, and they were serving Virginia Black, which was Drake's whiskey. And there were actually 2 VIP sections. There was like real VIP, and then there was like friends and family VIP. And I went to the bathroom, and then when I came back, I saw the real VIP, and I was like, I'm gonna try to sneak into real VIP because I was just on some shit back then.
Yeah.
And I was
back when
we used to sneak into after parties. So I stood as people were getting checked wristbands. I stood behind a very tall man, and I was like, "Damn, this guy's tall." I'm like staring at like the small of his back as I'm just like, I'm 6'1", by the way. I was just like staring at the small of his back, and I look up and it's Kevin Durant, and he's 6'11", 7 feet. And I was like, God damn, he's tall. And they did not let me in. But Seth Curry was there. Kevin Durant was there. I looked at them from afar. And I just went back to my little booth and enjoyed music from an artist that I used to enjoy, who will not be named.
Yeah.
I never said
Close
it was Drake.
Yes.
So anyway, that's like when you see athletes in person, it's crazy.
It's
Basically the
next
bottom line of
level.
that
I
story.
don't know how many more until you want to talk about it. I'm just curious. Like, you have like a grand thesis on this, right?
Well, yeah.
I do want to watch like something else. Like So first of all, I don't want to get too into it, but everyone's copycatting it. It's taken over. It's not funny anymore. So we can look at a few examples of that. Maybe we start with Piers Morgan, the least funny person in the world.
Yeah.
Oh, he's part of this.
I love that he wouldn't even shell out the money for Saratoga.
Yeah, this was crazy, bro.
A blue flask into a.
They can't get it in whatever Tomorrowland or wherever he lives.
Oh, the music. It's what happened to the mix?
It was such a pain to sip of water.
Also, it's taking too long. It's like this like soundtrack. Yeah, because his social media guy probably was like, "This will be funny, trust me."
Make sure
He's
it's
so
really
bad
long.
at this.
The song is not helping the
Yeah,
pacing of it.
Yeah,
Actually, It's
especially
going-
because like one of the main tenets of the video is that
The
it's
editing.
yeah, and there's no music.
Famously, no music. Oh. Piers Morgan is he's kind of like the embodiment of when you hit a part of your elbow and just like
Yeah.
like every time he does something I'm just like fuck.
Yeah.
But he's so smart. You like him.
Duolingo did it as well. We can look at that one. And I'm like,
They're doing a
yeah.
little much.
Yeah. The thing is, it's funny because we were all enjoying this, and it's good that it wasn't official marketing. But now that it is just heavily being used for marketing, this is cross promotion. Saratoga x Duolingo.
Yeah.
Duolingo
Yeah.
did post this on their
Yeah.
TikTok.
That's not the real bird though.
But unfortunately, on Elon Musk's Twitter, you could only ever find things by fucking booted content.
Yeah.
You can never find the original account.
Honestly, is there any sound on the last one? Because it'd be funny if thou says the 10,000 line in Spanish.
That would be funny.
Okay,
That's
actually,
pretty
they got
funny.
it.
Yeah.
Duolingo's social team is great. They,
I mean, they're doing their job, which I respect.
yeah, and soon they will be replaced by AI as well.
Mhm. Okay, so yeah, this took over. It's like become super mainstream. Everyone's doing it. Mr. Beast did it. We don't have to look at it.
It's kind of just not a joke though. It's just the thing again.
Yeah, but it's it's like it's because it is the fun of like a lot of like Africans like content creators have been doing it, and it's been funny to see.
There's a lot of guys with his exact build doing it, which is kind of great. I was like, how many of you motherfuckers are there?
That's a problem.
Show me your morning routine.
I would like to look now because I've watched this, but I want to get both of your takes on his statement on people copying him.
Oh wow, I didn't know he made a statement.
Oh yeah, I've been in.
What does he
I've been
sound
deep.
like?
You'll never guess.
We're gonna have to get 10,000.
I came here to address the nonsense. So many videos are being sent to me, duplicates of my videos. This is for the creators that are sick and tired of their work being copied. Listen to me well. You're either going to be a leader or a follower, and it's okay to be either one, but you have to choose. If you're going to be a leader, people are going to follow you. What is the issue? I realize that
Why
God
is he
has
dressed
me
like
here
an
to lead,
Albanian
not to
loan shark?
Yeah, this
like-
makes all of the sense make sense.
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is like this guy's outside a club in
Yeah,
Glendale.
like if that was his real
He's
job.
he's dressed like Jason Sudeikis, his
Yeah.
character from What's Up With That.
Yeah.
I mean, it's working. I
Yeah,
guess.
it's like, what is going on? And also, it's so funny to. I think what's always interesting, and this always happens when someone is like very hot and they get something like this, that they don't understand how the internet works.
It's crazy.
I'm gonna come out on this beef because they kind of fell into fire. What is that one VFX YouTube channel? I think it's
Corridor?
like starts with a C.
Corridor
Digital.
Who?
Corridor.
Yeah,
Digital.
Corridor.
Yeah.
Dude, fuck them. Because it was when someone took their like video with the big dog thing, and then I used the Twitter kind of share feature where you're able to kind of just share the video onward, and
it still links back.
Yeah,
at the
it links
bottom.
back.
Yeah.
But it linked back to the person who stole it, I guess. And I made my joke or whatever, and they were like, "You stole this," and I was like, "No, I'm not the one who stole this. I'm just sharing this video."
Yeah.
And they were being snooty with me, and I was like,
Cardo was.
"You don't know, you work in YouTube. You don't know how the fucking Twitter works, where you're yelling at me."
They also got in a lot of hot water for their AI takes.
Yeah, this is why I'm very comfortable, because I was I knew here's the thing is if you're dumb and you're doing good stuff, or you're you're just another creator, then I'm not gonna say some shit. But if you're dumb and then you use AI, then I'm gonna completely talk about how I fucking think you're an idiot.
And you take swings.
Yeah,
If you're taking swings. Yeah. In general, I like those guys, like, but I definitely don't like how they handled the AI thing.
Yeah.
Completely seem to be missing why people were upset.
AI is very interesting right now in the sense of how it's being pushed on us and by everything. Like the new iPhone I got, and they're like, you want to make an emoji with AI? I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Every app, everything. Like I had to like say no to something because they were like, oh, it'll be an AI thing. I was like, no.
Dude.
I was like, it's so funny because
things I could tell you off camera.
I know.
I wonder if it's the same.
Yeah, I know. I was like, I shouldn't, but I did pass. But
we had a similar thing.
Then like I do something like Vesper, which is like it's like using it as a tool, but it's using artists and writers, and the tool is just connecting the writing work to the assets that their artists made in-house so that you can build a game without knowing how to code. And then like someone was like, I didn't think I'd see Ify pushing AI slob, and I was like, well, it isn't. Did you see the explanation in the video?
Great news. You aren't seeing it.
And then it's also like, have you not seen me always talk shit? It'd be real
and there's
weird.
Space for discourse about like the thing. We cannot get into it in this episode, but there is nuance to artificial intelligence, and I think that like people have very lazily in a lot of cases taken artificial intelligence to mean generative use of AI that was trained on stolen assets and resources and other people's creative work, and then regurgitating that for profit. And that is obviously bad, but there are so many other applications and other ways to even use that exact same technology.
If you take a photo of someone without their permission, that's bad. It doesn't mean the camera is bad.
Yeah, and so it's
the utility.
And I get like we are kind of everyone is coming up to speed with this new technology, and so I'm personally, as like someone who studied AI in school, like I want to have the grace for people. To try and understand that distinction, especially a lot of the people are like really activated, well-meaning younger people who just don't know. But it is sometimes very hard to like have all of that. You've only got so much. But this is just like what happens when you're right. It's being forced on us. It's being used as a marketing term. It's everywhere. It's unavoidable because it's like another .com boom. People are putting AI in their stock name so that people, unbeknown investors, are thinking there's some sort of AI connection and that they should invest in it because it's the future.
Well,
it's just capitalism happens.
And just to kind of bring it back to everything, I think what you're talking about and kind of lamenting happens because there is everyone wants just like a blanket generalized thing. They don't want to have to do the work to investigate itself. They don't want to have to parse things.
Well, someone told me it's bad, so I'd like to continue that.
And it's and every like no one like Nuance Is Dead, and it died on the internet on sites like Twitter where you had people say this person did this bad thing and they are bad because of it.
And the extreme take gets the most engagement.
And we want and they have to go away, and they have to there's so much has the line been turned where it's like they need to go away and get help, but no one has ever investigated what happens after that. No one, because they want to just do the easy thing.
And if you do anything bad, it's a scarlet letter that you're not allowed to actually live in this world again.
You're not allowed to make mistakes, and I think it's getting more prescient because some of the stuff that I might have been saying or doing before the internet and before saying it on the internet are just gone, and now we live in this age where it's stuck in there. This is all to say it's very easy to just kind of join a community or to join a cause or to do a blanket. We're seeing it even with the like Gamergate 2.0 bullshit and the DEI bullshit. And I think this is kind of my thing, where's the masculinity. I think a lot about that first video where you don't know what the fuck he does. He's just talking into a camera. And at first I'm like, why isn't he explaining it? But it's like, oh no, it actually probably helps him. I don't think he's strategic in it, just looking at him and listening to everything he just said. But like
suddenly recording a video like a cop with a Punisher logo on the back of their car suddenly.
But like keeping it like blank in that way, it allows people to insert themselves into it and say, oh, I can do that. I can wake up at 3:30 p.m. and do this bullshit. And then I go to my job, whatever it is, sit at the desk, and I am ready, especially by 9:25. And it's because we have dismantled masculinity in its former state, and you have a lot of prominent men just going and being like, people are killing masculinity, or people don't want masculinity, and no one is like investigating what masculinity is.
Yeah.
To them, masculinity is just power and success as a man. That is what it is. I think if you ask anyone what they think masculinity is, they won't have a real answer to you. But masculinity, as I have kind of taking it to mean with what most people kind of mean by it and what most people want out of it, is to be a provider, to make women feel secure, to be able to lead a household, a family. None of this bullshit does that. None of the bullshit anybody harping masculinity does. None of the bullshit
it's not self-sacrificing.
And I'm not even trying to dunk on him. I'm just like, I truly believe this. And as a parent myself, telling your son to hold the door open for women isn't masculinity, because I know a lot of motherfuckers who hold the door open for women and cheat on their girlfriends, hold the door open on women and like go off and are shitty people, because we're actively facing people who are looking for aesthetic instead of action. And that's the problem.
It's easier. And plus it's
easier. It's
the
easier to...
iconography is like, you're putting the responsibility on someone else to identify you that way, as opposed to setting a bunch of principles for yourself and then living by them. You're allowed to present yourself as a trad mask while still kind of evading a lot of the criticism by being like, well, I barely said anything. You don't know what I believe in life. I could be holding that door open. And the reality is you're not going anywhere where there are doors other than your house.
Exactly. And also we have in our culture just this whole energy of say it with your chest. And we got a lot of people not saying shit with their chest. And these same people who say they believe in the trad mask are not holding them accountable.
It's like grifting, like in the traditional, definitional sense.
Yeah.
You know?
And so no one is like calling anyone out, and that's like my big problem, where it's like, look, you can say you're this sense. This is my thing, like back in the day when we were dealing with like skinheads and like these weird fucked up racists in our high schools that were like drawing swastikas on the wall and like calling us the N-word and like getting in fights with black people. Like, it's weird that I am now at the age where I have more respect for them
because they're saying it out loud.
Because they're saying it out loud and they're standing on it. They're like, yeah, I am racist. This is who I am.
And now it's like you have to walk through a world where everything is aesthetic and there's dog whistles everywhere. You have to like almost be able to see through the matrix in order to like know what someone truly believes. Like when I'm watching the new Love is Blind season, and this dude is like saying the right thing, but you like have in the back of your head, like, I feel like I'm not getting the full story. And then his partner, who doesn't end up marrying him, spoiler, I guess I didn't spoil because I didn't say who, but anyway, his partner who doesn't end up marrying him goes on a podcast and talks about all the stuff that you could have guessed about him if you could see through, but like none of that stuff ever made it to air or made it to the surface.
Well, because we're like trying to like, once again, we're trying to like subvert nuance and critical thinking, because you're sitting here walking, quacking, and flapping, but going, I didn't say I was a duck. And it was like,
oh my God, why would you assume
my duck?
It was like, because you're doing duck shit. But so if you don't want to be called a duck, don't do duck shit.
I was just like grabbing my heart and wishing my heart out to you all. You know how you angrily gesture your heart.
I'm touching my heart and throwing all my love out to Austrians in 1940.
Yeah, like it's stupid shit like that, when like, I don't know how many times we've ever seen somebody go, oh my God, like you accidentally scratch with your middle finger. And even though you were just scratching yourself, what that looks like. So you apologize for it and you go, that's what I wasn't trying to do.
Or like how the news over decades has just had a different term for black people, how it's like urban or like, Well, nowadays woke and DEI a lot of times is just referring to fucking black people.
And
I'm not saying all the time.
I'll say like 99% of the time. And you don't even know what DEI is. Like,
well,
if you
someone
knew,
will say his DEI wife, and it's like, what do you mean? Or like,
exactly.
well, he was woke.
I want to plug real quick the $15 tier of the Patreon, where we talk quite a bit about this because we watched a Jubilee video.
Oh, we watched that Sam Cedar Jubilee video. That was a trip.
Should be coming out soon, if not already out. And it's so wild in that video how people do not know what they're talking about when they say DEI.
It feels like conversations, and I'm guilty of this, but I also don't engage. I like don't act like I know what I don't know, but it feels like conversations between people who have only read the headline.
Well, here's the problem,
you know what I mean?
Is like that necessarily wasn't always a problem. Like, we're never going to know every fucking thing about everything. And now we feel like we have to, because you're stuck debating people where it's like, well, if you don't believe it, disprove me. I was like, or how about you fucking stop saying it until you know what you're talking about? You know, like there's been this role reversal that we've accepted where it's like, no, you just shut the fuck up until you know it, because you can't go out and exclaim things. You can't go out and make proclamations when you're not the educated one. It is not on us to educate you to prove you wrong. Also, stop saying shit that you don't know the fucking shit about.
One of my biggest pet peeves is like when someone doesn't know about something, but I think it's just because I personally
being wrong confidently.
Yeah, being wrong confidently, one of my biggest things, because I am so the opposite, because I'm so scared of being wrong, and that's part of my mental illness. But still, like, there is also a lack of one, like, kind of the concept of theory of knowledge. How do we know what we know? But then also media literacy in terms of like identifying sources, being able to judge the bias of a publication, being able to look at an article that says something, but then look at who funds that publication and say, oh, well, what are the biases that are baked in by the systems at play? You know, like, of course the Washington Post who's now owned by billionaire Jeff Bezos, is going to have, even though they try to remain independent, we saw this last election that he can step in and override their journalistic independence. And so, like, that makes it feel that at the end of the day, despite any individual journalist here being well regarded or being good at their craft, the organization is compromised in that way, and it can't be relied upon for certain things. Or if it is, you have to look at a lot of things in concert. And what I think we see happening is a lot of, like, there is always going to be, the other thing that pisses me off is maybe the wrong term, upsetting to me,
tickles your biscuits.
Opposite of that. Okay. The fact that data is treated as truth and objective, when in reality it is so easy to manipulate data to reveal whatever your goal is.
I think especially like crime data. Like, anytime someone talks about crime data and try and use it as an end-all be-all, I just always stop. I was like, well, who's gathering that data? Who's gathering? And sometimes they don't get it and goes, well, tell me this. If you are a racist police force and you are primarily arresting black and brown people for this and for shit that you would normally let your white citizens get off with a warning, wouldn't that change the numbers?
Yeah.
And then that's when everyone turns into a saint. It's like, well then you should just be following the rules. Like, yeah, it's funny you think that when other people do it, but let you fucking get pulled over for a ticket, and then all of a sudden the rules don't need to be followed that bad, or this.
It's crazy because, like, I saw this story of a guy who's recently got married. They had their honeymoon in, like, Peru, and he married so I think someone from Peru, and they came back to the States, and then they were, like, the wife was detained by ICE.
Yeah.
And then the husband was like, I don't regret my vote for Trump. And I'm like, okay.
Well, because at this point it's not even like, it's so funny because people have just fully kind of separate it from their humanity for the sake of being right, because he knows that that's the soundbite that they want, that like, oh, maybe I shouldn't. He knows.
I think that's a good way of putting it.
Oh, 100%. Because at this point, I'm like, I think one of the biggest problems here is that we kind of create these versions of people opposed to us as if they're like heartless enemies, and it's more just ignorant and like stubborn people. And I've seen it on all aspects of the spectrum, political spectrum. I'm super far left. Right. So a lot of times I'm looking at people who like consider themselves liberal, and it's funny when that, you know, energy stops and who it stops for and when it stops. But we don't have to get into that. But, you know, I think it is just this lack of empathy completely and this like need to win. We've turned politics into sports. And like, I think that there's a world in which you can, like, if we can break down from the sport of it all, we all across the board can be better.
I do want to get back to this guy, but I want to agree and say the team sports thing is especially crazy right now because like I don't think anyone here is a huge Joe Biden fan. I don't know if a huge Joe Biden fan really exists. Joe Biden, one would hope.
Pretty privileged, but otherwise I'm not.
But like what you see happen online is if two people disagree, then they'll just immediately go to that's why your guy lost. And it's like, whoa, this isn't my guy.
That's first and foremost. That's not my guy.
It's like, in fact, I fear that a lot of the things that I care about aren't represented at the highest offices of government.
I think a lot of comfort comes from, because ultimately comfort is the thing that everyone's seeking. It's like the base, like it's hierarchy of needs wise. Those all exist to give you comfort, not happiness and fulfillment.
Right. There's apparently a caravan of immigrants at the border, and I need a big, strong man to stop it. But the reason, and that'll make me feel comfortable because America's being taken. I've been told that America's being taken over.
But the reason that like mechanisms like that, like specific objectives, are being invented is because if you have something objectively clear, then you can create a solution that objectively resolves it. And that's a very appealing idea. It's, I'm sure, very appealing if you can, if you have no principles, it's probably very nice to lean in and say, actually, there is no institutional racism, and I don't have to think about, learn, or be worried about that anymore.
Here's this, and I promise this is going to make its way back to what we're talking about. The what I've kind of come to terms with recently is that America has this faux individualism. Like everyone, like we're the land of the free, and everyone's so individualistic, and it's really just selfishness. Because the actual work of being individualistic,
commodified selfishness.
The actual work of being an individual is so much harder for people. People would rather like follow this guy. Like people say they want masculinity, but then they'll follow this like, you know, guy who like is just running a pyramid scheme because his life looks interesting, than to go out and find the things that will fulfill you in the ways that like doing any of these things will.
What makes him interesting? It's literally, I'm sorry, Ashton Hall, that he has big muscles.
Yes.
Like he has big, pretty muscles. And it's like an appeal to authority where the authority is muscles.
Well, well, that's why I keep coming back to masculinity.
Yeah.
Because at its core, like people, because muscles is just the symbol.
It is just the symbol
of a protector, the symbol of security.
I'll follow the man who has the biggest stick.
But no one, but you have these same guys who are following this guy who looks like he has the symbol of muscles and security, and you have women telling you, here are the things that make me feel secure, and you're like, well, that's gay.
No, they aren't.
But that's
not what you like.
masculinity. That is your goal, is to try, like, if you really are trying to be trad mask, your whole goal in existence is to protect women and to create a household to keep them protected. But you don't want to do that shit. And also, you just want to be a bum who has someone who sucks your dick sometimes. And your dick game is not good enough for that. Because I know some bums who get their dick sucked.
That other stuff is...
and that's so if you want to engage in like that trad ideology, which is like also it's valid to not participate in that. And I think that society treats things in such discrete buckets that it's like boy blue shirt, girl pink shirt, and boy strong protect, girl home make, you know?
And it's just, it ultimately is only in service of that guy liking you. It is never in service of the people telling you that's not what they want and you correcting them. It is only in service of other guys being like, we're men, right?
Yeah.
We all don't feel scared.
I joined a
right?
special
Here's the
boys
thing.
club for the boys to remind me that I'm one of the boys.
I'm wearing plaid shirt. Good.
Masculinity, as they are selling it, is gay as shit. because you're their ideal masculinity is for the approval of men.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you, I don't give a fuck about men. I want all the witchy women, theys and thems and femmes. That's whose approval I'm looking for.
But you're also looking for your own approval,
Of
right?
course.
Because you're not big and strong because you think it'll make you attractive to women.
Yes, of course. You know, I think, jokes aside, I think that's why a lot of these people have lost their ways, because they're not on a journey of self-assurance. They're on a journey of approval of somebody who will never give it to you.
A third
Even
party,
if you sign up for this guy's weird-ass fucking coaching shit, he's never going to approve of you, because if he approves you, then you don't have to pay him anymore.
And this isn't my joke to make, and that's a great point, by the way. This isn't my joke to make, but Jabuki, can we go to Jabuki's Twitter? Jabuki quote tweeted this, and I do want to finish this clip because I want you guys to tell me what the hell he's saying. Jabuki tweeted, "There's some sugar in his Saratoga," which is, shout out Jabuki, shout out my twin.
Yeah.
This guy's kind of my twin.
True. Yeah. The last thing I'll say is that one thing about our show that is important to me is that we try to retain that empathy. Yeah. And I think that there's a lot of people who I don't know, and I actually don't want to hear about it in the comments. But I would like to think that there are people who can disagree with us who, because we're trying to focus on the fundamentals and not political teams.
Yeah.
We can have our opinions, but also kind of focus on what are the systems, who is harmed by the systems, who is benefited by the systems, and what is just whether or not capitalism is good, which I think capitalism has a wealth of problems, but it is a system that dominates our world. And so acknowledging that isn't political. You know what I mean? But or actually acknowledging that is political, and that's okay because you can't avoid politics. Being political is a part of when actually shout out Rusty Buckets, NBA YouTuber I watched. They talked about Jackie Robinson being removed in the sweep that the White House did of all their DEI biography pages, and then people it was it was done by mistake, but the URL was DEI Jackie Robinson or whatever, and then they walked it back, and there's discourse around this, and it's well, I just don't want to worry about there's these people who don't want to see race and stuff, and it's it is not, you have to Jackie Robinson's entire he broke racial barriers he was protested against. He was
was there never racism?
Right. That's the thing. It's when you think it, if you're one of those people, you have to acknowledge people who existed in this. If you exist in the world where racism is over, but racism existed, you also have to examine that there had to have been a crossover when that happened. And then if you acknowledge that crossover, you have to acknowledge that it is not a clean break where we said, okay, that's the bow's tied around it. All racism is done now because we've integrated schools and professional sports, And so to try to treat something like Jackie Robinson, whose whole deal was in not only being good at baseball, but being a black player and what that meant for the sport. Come on, you can't not
well, also the thing that just kind of negates their whole argument is, if that's the case, then you should still be mad that it was pulled from the site. It's there's scrubbing it of that history and just honoring this soldier who also happened to play baseball, or there's completely deleting the site. And that's why it's no, your argument never makes sense, because if it's just there, you're already mad. So you
What's
need
it
to investigate.
doing that is bothering you?
Yeah.
I
Exactly.
fear it was a teenager with almost a full high school education and part of a college one that didn't really know who Jackie Robinson was. That is my fear. That is unfortunately my fear.
They tried to put out a PDF and instead deleted a historical document about an extremely important figure in history.
No, just upload all of these social security records to a PDF generator file. My PDF.biz.
But
I feel like also, what's the point of doing that without just being like, we're erasing history? Because that's at its base level, it's just history. This is a fact. This is a truth.
It's just a fact. It's just a thing that happened.
If he was very bad at baseball, it wouldn't even matter. This wasn't a like baseball-oriented discussion.
Yeah, it's like the Little Rock Nine. That was the girls that were first
And
integrated.
boys.
Girls and boys that were. I'm thinking of the photo.
The photo of the little girl.
Of the little girl. But those were the kids in Little Rock, Arkansas, who were in they literally had to be escorted into school because people were protesting against them. Like, this history, it's a part of our DNA. Like,
but we're done now. We're done.
I'm just it's like, it's not like, it's so weird. It's like, I don't know what to tell you. This is just a thing.
Yeah, why deny that it happened unless for nefarious reasons?
well, because that's why reminds me of all those things where it's like, I don't know why we have to pay with what our grandfathers did. It's like, well, because you're still protecting them. That's why. If you weren't protecting them, if you were calling it out, then no one would think you have to pay. But the fact that you're protecting them because you're probably still benefiting from them in some way is why you must be stopped.
Yeah, it's generational wealth.
Yes.
You're benefiting because you are benefiting from what they did have. If that's something you're completely against, then you certainly can't support the idea of debt, of like medical debt being passed on the next generation. You got to pick one.
Yeah, you should. There are people who love they love being able to hide the history, because then it upholds a lot of stuff. Like, for example, where it's like, well, black people, they just haven't tried enough. And then Watchmen, an HBO show, taught everyone about the Tulsa riots. And they're like, what? It's like, yeah, dude. Yeah. Every time black people in the history of this country has done what you said to do because we are good at what we do, you have literally physically stopped it. So no, it isn't pulling us up. It's you getting the fuck out the way and changing the systemic things you are creating to hold us back.
And it's like the perception, and we will get back to it. But like the perception and all of these like sort of things about black people being stupid and all of the ways in like, even things like little Tyrone-esque jokes.
Yeah.
Like at black people's expense, all come back to the fact that slaves were like limited in what education they were allowed to have for generations.
And they were, what's it fucking called? Slaves.
It's just like so crazy to me that like it's like when things like affirmative action come up, it's like, these conversations are nuanced. But the thing I'll say, and that I'll leave it with, is like, don't care if you disagree, just happy you're listening. And hopefully we continue to we acknowledge our biases, but we also just try to be, we are who we are, and hopefully we can lay out rational arguments and conversations. And I just think there's just this thing where it's like, we really want to reach like young men.
Oh yeah.
And I think that there's a fear that I have about
coming off too abrasive. And
and then I also understand the response to that. It's like, well, you don't have to coddle these people.
No.
But you know what I mean?
Yes. No. I'm gonna like renege that a bit.
Yeah.
There's something that I'm walking away from with everything that has happened. We have cultivated a culture, and like from the start of it, when it was like hee hee ha ha jokes. But as a culture, we've cultivated a space in which we did turn our backs on young men in some ways.
I agree with that.
Like when I go on Twitter and you see people making fun of like the young men on TikTok where it's like, no one cares about us. And someone retweets it and it's like, yeah, because y'all all should die. And it gets a bunch of retweets. It's like, well, at that point, it's like, you can say you're haha making a joke, but that's no different than when they say the same racist, sexist bullshit and say it's a joke.
And I understand why the person says that.
Oh, yeah.
But it doesn't mean that it doesn't have an effect on the perception of young men who have limited things that they've perceived
Yes,
from the
and
limited
look,
time they've been on this
as the
planet.
terribly polyamorous man here who also grew up black, I can be the first to say
You weren't transracial?
because of the shit that you dealt with doesn't mean that you get to remove your empathy and cause harm to other people.
Yeah.
Like it's like, and that causes harm because you when some young dork who, you know, I'm calling the person dork in this scenario, whatever, but you know, dork complimentary, logs on to, you know, a social media site and sees all these people hee-hee-haing about men's suicide rates.
Yeah.
Like, what do you expect them to go? And then you have the weasel-mouthed fucking weird right-wing people being like,
Andrew
see,
Tate
this
going,
is what they mean.
Men are dying, and I'm here to save them with my Bugatti.
Yeah, we've allowed our...
I do enough karate that you have to respect me.
I do the karate, and I eat Havarti cheese.
Yeah, we have allowed the space for the jokes and the hee-hees and ha-has and us trying to give space to those lesser voices to create a space where we have just made it this, like, we've continued this, like, back and forth, this team sport of it all.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, we went the whole other direction, and a lot of it is a lot of white people, and I think white people who, like, white people, I'm gonna just call you out right now. Lots of times when you find out that you have something that you're kind of a minority, you think you join in on the party and you come at it with the heat that is not the same because you grew up white. You grew up with your privilege and you didn't inspect that. And then you come in the like minority side being like, I get it. And you're moving like someone who does not really understand the oppression that comes with being visibly oppressed.
Yeah, it's like flirting with the power of the oppressor still is oppressive.
Yeah.
But like the thing is, we have to acknowledge that the system that these young men exist in gives them privilege and power, regardless of whether or not they realize it or acknowledge
100%.
it. And a lot of times the reason these when you know, like men are trash, that type of thing, right?
Yeah.
When a guy looks at that and he goes, but I'm not trash.
Yeah.
Hashtag not all men.
Can I just, I want to throw out, simply because it is like such a common argument. I'm devil's advocating to come around and then re-angel it, let's say. More often than not, the defense that comes into play is, well, it's not my responsibility. This is outside of the boys. It's not my responsibility as somebody who is not in that position of privilege to educate these people. Now, the response I have to that is, okay. But you can't also pretend to be pragmatic.
Yes.
You can't you are completely not responsible to do that, but nothing will change then.
So glad you brought this up because it is like, there's been like, ever since that wave came, it was so funny to me because I remember back when Trayvon Martin died, it was on my birthday, February 26th. And I had to convince white people this wasn't like a one-off event.
Right.
So it's funny to see the growth in activism from there to then, but then this new urge to be like, it's not my job. And where it's like, I spent days online trying to convince people. And I think because we're just in this era of the internet where it's like, well, all the information's out there. It's like, hey, from this moment on, I need us all to realize, no, it's not. There's so much misinformation online that it actually kind of is our duty to start educating. I think we can't
that's a community mindset, not an individual mindset.
Say it again.
And that's the
say that sentence again.
What you're describing is you're trying to educate and uplift your community by playing a part that if everyone plays their part, then we can make progress faster.
Yes.
But in America, it is very individualistic, and we are trained, and also I just understand you want to put, you know, yourself first and protect yourself and your loved ones and stuff. And we have to kind of untrain some of that programming that says that I just need to get mine no matter what and fuck everybody else.
And what I will give the caveat to is this obviously isn't to mean bad faith actors. Like, we all know people who are just asking questions. We all know people, like, I don't mean that. What I mean is, like, sometimes I see someone and they are not they're trying to get in and they're not getting it. And it's just like, well, it's not on me. And it's like, well, if they go and do the research, there's so much bullshit out there now. It's not going to be. So
doing your own research.
Yeah.
It's like, the problem with people doing their own research is that they don't know how to research and they don't know how to.
You have to learn how to learn.
You have to learn how to learn. You have to learn how to identify what a good source and a bad source is. And it goes back to the media literacy and the theory of knowledge stuff that I was talking about, which is like, I'm afraid of somebody with who's mixing up there and there on Twitter, doing their own research, because I don't know if they know how to read. That's a joke, obviously, but you know what I mean. Like the sentiment of it is real.
Going off of media literacy, let's try and understand.
What amazing segue. Let's do it.
Now, I'm not perfect by any means. I used to get pissed off. The running videos, the ASMR with workouts, I'm not gonna act like I'm a saint. I used to block anybody who was doing anything similar to me. That was me. I'm blocking them. Screw them. How could they copy my work? I worked so hard for this. What's wrong with this dude? Why do the same thing as me? What is up? Then I realized, bro, like, people follow Jesus. Why? Because he was great. As a Christian man, why are you angry if they're following you? Matter of fact, if you're doing something good with good intentions, this should be a great thing. So coming from someone who's been in your shoes, just know, if people are doing what you're doing after they see what you're doing is working for you, you're doing something right. Don't allow this to get you upset. This is the name of the game.
See what I mean about dumb people? Like it is so funny to like.
I have an image in my head of Jesus just being like, these guys are fucking copying me.
There's so many people, and you know, respect to this man. I'm not trying to dunk on him, just a little bit. I am a comedian. This is entertainment, but I think for all intents and purposes, it is just wild to me how many people are in content creation and don't understand how it works. Like people are first of all mocking you. Like a majority of these videos are mocking you. No one's copying you, trying to do your thing. They are mocking you. You are a part of a joke. You are. It's like
running fast on the treadmill was my thing.
Yeah. Well, and he's talking about him running on concrete sprints with, which like is derivative of like fitness
ASMR.
Like,
that was me. The ASMR stands for Ashton.
Yeah, Ashton sonal meticular reasoning.
Ashton soy man. Really,
leave him alone.
Oh man, but yeah, no, it's like it is like very funny to be like, all these people are copying me, but people follow Jesus. And I'm like, dude.
And I'm kind of like that guy.
You know, I do one thing is true. I do want Saratoga to pay this man because he did that. And like, look.
This man said logo out and I'm not being paid.
Honestly.
Crazy work.
Outside of his coaching pyramid scheme, if like whatever he's doing isn't hurting people, I want him to be happy, but I want him to also understand how content creating works, to like him be like, all these people copying me. It seems like it's like, I want to know how you interact.
How did you get to 9 million Instagram followers without knowing a single thing about how the internet works?
We gotta get 10,000. Like, that was established.
I think this is like not uncommon in the history of the internet. This has happened before where people forget what came before them.
Yeah.
It's like he's not acknowledging that there's been other buff guys on TikTok.
I think he was the first buff guy and the first buff guy with an iPhone.
Yeah. And a lot of them, they always used to crawl on the ground, and he was like, what if I stood on my feet and ran?
Him acting like he originally did this. I went and shared this with Jarvis, with the originator. This motherfucker is just doing what our boy Mark Wahlberg did. Some of you may not know.
Famous hate crimer, Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah, famous hate crimer.
Not host of Temptation Island, Mark L. Wahlberg, who is my best friend.
Yes. So this was
my dad.
This is Mark Wahlberg's typical daily schedule. 2:30 a.m. wake up, which is nuts. To waking up at 2:30, that's still the day before. What do you mean?
Yeah, if in any domestic time zone you were on a different day, that is way too early.
2:45 a.m. prayer time. 3:15 breakfast. 3:40 to 5:15 a.m. workout. Which I'm like, hell yeah, brother.
When was he praying?
He prays at 2:45 a.m.
God is still asleep.
Yeah. God is not woken up.
God's waking up to text on his phone. Like what?
5:30 a.m. post-workout meal. 6 a.m. shower. 7:30 a.m. golf. 8 a.m. snack.
30 minutes of golf.
Yeah, that's absolutely nuts. It must be the par 3 on a 9. Okay, you have it.
Does he wake up on the course?
Yeah. Yeah. It's because he showers at 6 a.m., which means he either gets dressed in a minute, or if we say he starts golfing at 7:30, he has a snack. So it takes him 30 minutes to get dressed, get to the golf course, then 30 minutes to finish golfing, which I can only assume is the front 9. There's no way you're doing a full 18 in 30 minutes. 8 a.m. snack. Also, he has to get a hole in one. That
He's
golf
getting a hole in
metric
one every time,
that golf metric is fucking me up.
Yeah, wow, you're not getting a hole in one every time?
Because I golf, and I even on like a like simple par 3-9, that's still like 2 hours for me. Maybe
for you.
My favorite of this is where family time is mixed with meetings and work calls, which are both work. So 2/3 of the things in that list are work. And his family has 2 hours.
I don't know if you could get that many meetings / work calls within 2 hours. And then what's his family time? Are they on the call?
Yeah, I guess.
It's funny also
When's
that
acting?
after lunch, he has more meetings and work calls, no more family time.
Yeah. And then he picks up his kids at school at 3.
Who was his family time with?
Maybe it's just with his brothers that he owns Wahlburgers with.
They just eating Wahlburgers with the boys.
I think Donnie's work schedule is probably wake up 1 p.m., drive manically to the Law and Order set, or whatever propaganda he's on, not Law and Order, Blue Bloods, wakes up, go to Blue Bloods, stumble drunkenly through my lines, golf for 15 minutes, bed.
Let's go to his new Ashton's. Well, he has to wake up at 2.
Yeah.
Let's go to Ashton's follow-up, and then we can freestyle for a bit and then wrap it. And then we have some games that we're gonna play, like not GeoGuessr but Time Guesser, where we like analyze a photo. And then there's one that someone recommended on our Patreon, which was Redactyl, where you have to identify a Wikipedia article by a redacted page. Okay. And so I think that could be fun. That's going to be happening on patreon.com/sadboys. You can get for as low as $5 a month. It gives you access to all of our premium Patreon podcasts, Sad Boyz Nightz, which at this point there's dozens, 106 episodes. All right, so let's load up his new Get Ready With Me, because now it's the first one that he's made since the blow up.
How much of this is part of his infrastructure, like the Get Ready With Me stuff?
We'll find out. I think it's a fair amount. He's at least the earliest one of these I watched was in January.
Oh my god! Is this making you do a capture?
Jacob's being tested.
One where you have to select 2 of the same shapes, and I'm weirdly bad at it.
Well, that's because
you don't see the shape.
Because we need to like have a test where you can exhibit an emotion because computers can do every one of these better than a person can. I need to hear his Foley work.
Yeah, can we pause before? That man has to have the driest hands in the world for it to make that much noise. Like, everyone just rub your hands together. You have the softest.
His
yeah, well, I've done the least.
He does. I'm like conspiracy theorist about him recording extra Foley for his videos because the sounds are mixed way out of whack.
Oh yeah,
and
such ungenerous.
I'll notice that like between his last Get Ready With Me and this one, he discovered that he has sensitive teeth and started using Sensodyne.
Also that he has lights on his in his bathroom.
Pausing on his face there, where his eyes were
Very
like
unkind.
rolling back.
Also, are we to assume that he went to sleep with that watch on?
Yeah, how
he sleeps with the watch and the chain on.
Well, I sleep with my chain on, so.
Yours is fused too.
Yeah. If I take it off, my head falls off.
Like Dorian Gray, but with ice. Yeah.
See what I mean about the
Did they hit a
Foley?
gong?
Yeah.
Jesus. Oh.
You're putting beard oil on.
The thing that I don't get is like, why is it so different already?
Yeah.
Like he's not even using consistent like toothpaste.
It's so funny because some things I thought he might change because of people's reaction, but he still kept the twerk session in there.
He kept the twerk session in, and I love that his traps are so big. It looks like his head
Absolutely.
It looks like he has no legs.
Yeah, it looks like he has no legs, and his head is like off of his body.
I think that's what frustrates me so much about this man is he's such a physical specimen that like the actual shit he does to me is more interesting than any of this.
Yeah.
Like, show me those workouts,
'Cause
bro.
it's not
Show me that
nothing.
meal pay. You're like,
It's absolutely not nothing. Yeah, it's everything.
It'd be like
to
if there
me.
was like a jet pilot, but his TikTok was all about playing Monopoly.
Yeah.
You're like, show me the plane.
It's all to get ready with me until he opens the door to leave for work.
From this angle, he looks like a Jujutsu Kaisen demon.
Yeah. I know.
There's another
that's the
angle on this
peak
video.
body.
I think where where his head truly looks like it's fallen off of his body. Okay, let's continue.
Every
Wait, why
day
is
you
the
just stop.
camera
You
there?
stop. Right over the. This
why
is
it's not
once
sponsored.
again bringing it back to aesthetics and masculinity. The one thing I captured that is he broke that bottle and someone else cleaned it up
Instantly.
I was like, once again, this is faux masculinity. That is, you have forced which like. I guess the lore of what this is, you have a servant. This isn't actually like
You have a
your
servant
partner.
that's like on fucking
Yeah.
ready for the
you have
snap,
one of the
dude.
fucking hunter servants that are just there.
Then
But, like, it's
It's
like
the
broken
demon
glass.
butler from RuneScape. It
Yeah, it's
spawns
like-
in right when you need it.
Why did he have to include that in the schedule?
Well,
Just stop
because-
breaking it.
Well, be like
So that you can
this
see
is-
the speed at which his servant cleans it
Yeah,
up.
it's the aesthetic once again of like him
have to
being
wake
rich.
up.
So sorry, go ahead.
I thought they just
Bible.
woke up at a normal time and made breakfast. I didn't know they had to be up at
They have to
3:35
be up,
a.m.
and they don't do anything. They sit
Sucks.
Waiting for you to knock.
waiting for you to knock something over or to ready your bowl. That's how I learned it was the Bible, by the way.
Also, I love that he changed the page.
Yeah, wait. Can we address? Sorry,
There is.
I have to address this. It's now an iPad.
Yeah.
He leveled up. The
Yeah.
buff version of an iPhone.
Because I think people commented on him watching something on that small. Like,
Oh, I
that's
did.
why-
I certainly did.
Yeah. I think definitely this is like him addressing everything that people have mentioned, because also his journal, his page is now the last page, which is funny. Is like, oh no, it's not the first page. So now it's the last
every day.
page.
I fill a journal every day with how crazy my life is.
Bro, just open the fucking middle.
I've got a special.
Why does it have to be the first last?
Like every time LeBron's reading a book, it's the first page.
Yeah. And it's like if he got called out and now it's always the last page. It's like,
I have a special iPad that gets bigger with every morning routine I do. So soon it'll be like as big as the room.
Yes.
By the way, it's like, so this, I think, sometimes does lead to some of the more toxic behaviors in how we would view and categorize masculinity, like, or rather, I guess I should set up, is one of the classic identifiers of masculinity that I think can have value in it. Not that it's only applicable to traditionally masculine people, but one of the things that tends to get associated with it is confidence and a feeling of self-assuredness, right? Which is part of the appeal of it. There is a very, very, very thin line between shy lack of confidence and arrogance on the other side, where it's taking criticism and acting on it.
Yeah.
The side of insecurity that pops out every now and then and stuff like this is like, fine, I'll get an iPad. Okay, fucking, like everyone has the same insecurities. You take a screenshot, but you don't crop out your battery life. Someone makes fun of you, like, fine, I'll just fucking crop it out then.
Yes.
You're gonna be mad at me. Whereas the masculine version of that is, watching on my phone.
Yeah.
Why do you care about that?
Yeah.
It's just like, no, don't say that.
Yeah. It's like, it works for me.
They're gonna say, oh, you broke your Saratoga, and then the next one's gonna fall on a pillow.
Yeah.
You're like, it's fine. He keeps that nose strip on, huh?
Today. None of his shit is consistent. I don't think lemons on your face is good, by the way. I just gotta put my slippers where I need them.
Ooh, new bag.
Going up.
All right, a lot of it's walking, huh? That's so much door. What?
Steam room.
It was getting in the shower again. Do the run. Oh,
Just like a specimen, man. And you just...
but he doesn't work out. This morning.
Dude, most of this shit is elevators. Oh, here's my favorite part.
Heels off the pavement.
2, 1.
Yeah.
I'm starting to feel, and you can let me know if this is wrong, Ify. I feel like he doesn't have as much mobility because of his big muscles.
Yeah, I mean that's I feel like he's doing some slight mobility work here and doing like the kind of leg overs. But that's the biggest fear. Like when you're getting like that huge is making sure you keep your mobility.
Yeah.
But he's kind of like he has even though his looks huge, like he is like a svelte like cut.
For
but
sure.
I'd be curious of, like I said, without knowing his actual workout routine, I can't tell you like
he's a lot
his level
leaner
of
than he would
mobility.
be as an athletic. Like it's not practical supposedly for what he was doing.
Oh
so
yeah, no, this is definitely like you're leaning into like bodybuilding.
Yeah, this is
like,
aesthetic.
So to not include the diet or the workout is kind of crazy.
Like I said, it drives me. The longer the video is, I'm like, you don't know how valuable the actual information you're not showing is.
Working out in sunglasses is a little crazy to me, but
It's making me think that if you take a bunch of elevators and go through a bunch of doors, you could look like this.
That's literally more footage of him in transit than working out or doing work.
Running on concrete is diabolical. I know his knees are hurting.
Doesn't he have a treadmill? I guess he can't do that.
It's good to meet you, man. Respect it. That's crazy. Thank you, bro.
Devil. More doors.
You shampoo every day?
Oh, yeah.
Who handed that to him?
Today you didn't eat the banana.
Oh, yeah, it's not weird.
The meals completely changed.
Oh, well, still not,
Oh yeah, here it is.
still not very carby, though.
Today it's gotten meta.
Thank you.
Oh, that was
You made
nice.
your first 10,000. Congratulations. We got to do at least 20, bro.
Nuts.
Right.
Nuts.
I mean, it's weird to obviously that's fake, and to not just give fakely ambitious numbers.
Yeah.
Why is that 20,000? Say 10 billion.
Well, I feel like because if knowing what he does now, that's the amount of followers this guy is supposed to get to coach other coaches.
Honestly, followers is a good guess.
Oh, definitely right.
And if you have, I guess I don't know your situation. I was like, if you're doing consulting to get from 10,000 to 20,000 followers, like, I don't know how to help you, brother.
And it needs how many sessions to it? If his advice is do more of
so
that.
expensive. Every 10,000, you've got to get another meeting with this man.
Let's see Jacob's
Just for him to tell you to
analytics.
bump it up and everything.
Keep going, please. More.
It was actually
make the number higher.
I got these balloons and a cake. And you're telling me it's not enough?
God, what if he's talking about like 10,000 yen?
So for this one, the thing he spent the longest doing was on his iPad.
This is insane.
And then also on in the Steam room. Everything else was like, I guess he had 16
Saratoga all caps
undocumented
into
minutes.
bowl with ice.
Run.
Drink Saratoga.
Take off shirt. I see. He dropped in a couple.
So if anyone wants to follow this, zoom into Champagne Poppy, which is Drake.
What's the longest?
No relation. I never associate with that guy.
Clips. What do we have? Assistant cooking breakfast. Is that?
The longest one is when he's watching the sermon on his iPad.
You know something that just hit me? If we're talking about his morning routine, there is a glaring hole during all of that cooking that we see his assistants do. Like, what are you doing in that time? Like, this is your morning routine.
That's his bathroom time.
Yeah.
You sound great.
It's actually it's like a Schrodinger's cat situation. He like doesn't exist,
Yeah.
or does he? You know.
Yeah.
When not observed when walking through a door, he does not exist.
Okay.
When's he shitting?
Oh, almost all the time.
Okay.
After the morning
While
routine.
doing everything.
At noon till night.
Yeah. Let's watch at least one more thing from his Instagram that's just random.
I mean, to be fair, he doesn't
Or
need to shit
TikTok.
much. He eats
TikTok's
like
perfect.
300 calories a day for some reason.
He's like, I burn everything I take
Oh,
in.
can we
Let's-
click on his
let's
website?
Oh, can we watch this running one first?
Yeah.
Because that's the one that everyone makes fun of. That was with the soundtrack. Yeah.
What?
Ah.
Is it the Purge?
Yeah. So that's it's like purge music while he just runs.
Why?
That's
Len?
that's the other
I
like
get it.
universal trait of all of these is
Yeah.
it's completely fucking joyless.
Oh, I want to hear more talking.
It's miserable. Life is miserable. You're never happy. You're
Also,
just efficient.
So what we just saw is
Jesus Christ.
about
oh,
7 boxes of Saratoga still. Once again, Not sponsored.
This is his 9 million on IG celebration. It is very funny to me to post on TikTok about the followers you got on Instagram. I don't know, like maybe that's the thing people do, but it's very funny to me. Unemployment final boss.
Nah, bro. I was really in the air for 4 minutes.
What?
Oh my.
What? What's he talking about? He was in the air for what?
He was referencing
the part in the video in the first video where it goes from 7:36 to 7:40.
That's so funny. That's so funny. He gets it. He's actually not upset.
Yeah,
I'm actually laughing.
Yeah.
He's like acting like he's in on the joke.
Yeah.
Oh, bro thinks he's part of the
Someone
crew.
said glad to see he's playing along instead of crashing out, but I saw the video of him crashing out.
Yeah.
He's done crashing out.
The crashing out is just off camera.
Yeah, so he's like invested in crashing out. He did it all early.
So I'm down to continue watching this, but I do want to look at the before the virality clips because the self-referential shit I'm not interested in. I'm interested in when he was just his daily normal grind of content.
Because this one's too much like my day-to-day. My servant. Ugh.
Yeah, that full leaf.
Is he stepping on leaves?
It's okay.
They're really going to be like getting less and less gay banana. Like, okay,
We got them all chopped up.
It's different. It's different cuts of banana every time. Different preparations.
Oh, family time.
Yes, I understand Mr. Beast is very successful. If he can start waking up at 3:50 a.m., he's going to do at least 10 billion, bro.
Okay.
There you go. Way up.
So I'm annoyed. I'm also annoyed with how inconsistently he puts slippers on for outside and not outside. In the first video, when he goes to the pool, he walks back barefoot to his door. And then in his own house, he's wearing slippers on the balcony, which is exposed to the elements, and indoors. So he's dirtying up the inside.
After we go to the OG videos, I'm very curious of the 4 people he's actually following.
Oh my God, if David Goggins and Gary Vee aren't in there.
Damn, one of them blocked you. One of them blocked you.
One of them is his brother.
Oh. Anderson Hall. Bully juice.
I will say, and this is going to change definitely. He's very product light.
Yeah.
I was expecting a pre-workout link. There's no powder involved.
Can we go to his worthylifestylecoaching.com? I do think it's just the coaching pyramid scheme.
What do you think the bag is on that?
Custom meal plans and coaching.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
My
Let's
supplements.
Look at that. Oh, that's why he wasn't showing us.
Let's watch this video. This video is recorded before.
Where's your iPad? Oh, loser.
What's going on, fitness family? A couple things that I want to cover with you today. First of all, I'm super excited to have you a part of this program, True Fit Body Coaching. It is a program that we built and designed to get you guys truly fit. Not to just look the part, but to
in that void that John Oliver.
Our goal is to have all of our clients live a quality life while also enjoying vacations, ice cream, pizza, and cake, as we all deserve. Now, if you're here right now, I'm sure you've seen some type of progress.
This is like The Rock.
Maybe you just
Also,
The Rock's Instagram.
for him to spend so much money on LEDs and have the most blown out videos.
Crazy.
History of blown out, dude.
Bro,
I'm asking you, bring the highlights down, bring the whites in.
Why did he move why is his desk in a different place?
They have this video blown out on an all-white black background.
It looks like he's in an R&B video.
This is very interesting because I'm friends with Scotty K Fitness, who you should meet. He's the big mustache ginger, does the splits, and so he has issues with shit like this, which is what I don't know yet, but I think it might be this. So when fitness people on TikTok are like, apply for one-on-one coaching, they essentially will do it via email and actually like just have like either outsourced plans and like it's
they
just
went on Fiverr.
Yeah, like and like have like someone who's talking to you that's supposed to be him, and maybe one time, you know, you can have him on to tell this story, but essentially he found out because someone popped on his stream and he was like, oh, you know, you really helped me through the time with the workout stuff. He's like, what? And he's like,
oh shit.
Oh, this, and that's how he found out that the person wasn't actually like one-on-one coaching.
And by the way, this, you know, like OnlyFans people do this all the time.
Oh yeah.
It's just that like, I don't know, man.
It's because you're saying unlock your best self with personalized one-on-one coaching, which is now knowing all about it. it's like very good legal judo because you're saying personalized one-on-one coaching. Most people colloquially will just see this and think it means you are going to get, if one-on-one
take
coaching.
eyes out of there, then you're maybe in hot water. But it's personalized.
Apply today. Spots are limited. Okay,
Everyone just
let's
wants
look at his
a daddy.
supplements and diet.
Everyone just
The
wants
other
daddy
link
because
on
you
his,
can learn and practice your own custom meal plan.
Oh, and then also click the
apps,
mentorship
man. You don't
link.
need this. Whoa.
Oh, so he sells this. So he does sell
Knew it.
supplements.
Damn it.
Okay. Ideal for every fitness goal.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's what? How convenient.
Yeah. How convenient that it'll work for
if you
whatever
buy my
you need
thing,
it for.
it works for everything. Actually, it's kind of perfect for
Buy my
everyone in every
thing,
way.
30 minutes of golf, 500 push-ups.
Dude, I love what part of your day is when you ponder your protein powder.
He's at the gym and he didn't check what was in it.
Yeah. He's like, this is about the time
cyanide
to look.
Science-driven. Good thing. Okay.
What's it good for? Absolutely everything.
Yeah.
Worthy subs.
Worthy subs is crazy.
That's me. I'm worthy.
Oh, so that's why he had the worthy on his.
Oh.
So he is doing some
become limitless with it. I'm selling the limitless pill in this one giant container. Was there anything else on his TikTok that we wanted to look at before we wrap it?
Is ASMR?
Oh, his old videos?
Yeah, old videos. That's it.
I mean, there is the thirst trap element, like you were saying, with the
I think
ice
that's
pouring.
how he grew, was just being the hottest, buffest dude.
Yeah.
And then he's shirtless and running a bunch.
But it does feel like it's kind of
oh my god,
pivoting away, and instead it's like, look how attractive you could be.
Yeah.
Guy watching. Damn, dude, there's so many.
You are kind of seeing more. What I eat. Wait, on the far right,
a single leaf of spinach.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Whoa. Yeah.
meal. Oh, okay.
What?
What's interesting about these early
meal 1 at 12. What about breakfast from the morning routine?
But what's very interesting about this video versus other ones, when did this come out? 2023. Great. This is like less trying to have the I'm rich aesthetic and more like just fitness guy. He's holding his own shit.
Yeah. It says he does 16 to 8 intermittent fasting schedule and keeps it clean. Good moves.
Why does it go in reverse?
And there's no carbs. Yeah.
Wait, is that just like
he just
engagement bait to do it in reverse or something? So people go, why is it in
reverse? Like a countdown, I guess.
Maybe he thought this one looked the nicest.
Well,
he does look really
he did it so that if someone else does it like that, he can say they copied him.
Yeah. Why is everyone eating meals? Where'd they get that
it's
idea?
just fitness influencer stuff. But that's, I mean, like you said, like that's
just
more interesting.
Running towards the screen.
It's just that he's like already so buff that like he could do anything and he's still going to have his body.
Yeah, scroll up a little bit. I want to see this, the one where it's like 2018.
Wait, can you open up another What I Eat Daily?
Is he dropping his pants in the far left?
Anastasia.
That's what it looked like.
Jesus.
Oh, okay, so running in sunglasses is kind of his thing. Oh, which one do you want, Ify?
Scroll up a little bit more. He was scrolling. There was one where, where it says 2018.
Oh,
you're giving us some progress.
Okay.
Yeah, damn. So he was like svelte, and then he got.
I mean, I think we can agree. It looks awful. I mean, look, in the first one, dude, that's so easy to look like that.
This is very interesting. He's like
amazing.
going like the classic like fitness influencer route, and then like kind of did this Sigma switch up. But
he's like clearly very ripped.
I mean, the truth is like is it natty or not really doesn't matter, because the way he looks even in the 2018 one.
Yeah,
is
that takes
so
a lot
aspirational.
Yeah,
that if you wanted coaching, I would trust somebody that posted that way more.
Yeah,
versus like you have to be genetically predisposed to the 2023 one. You just can't eat enough spinach to get there or whatever.
Popeye. Oh, he does it in reverse again.
He's eating more.
Lunch number 2.
Okay, but he's still in this like high rise, so I wonder where he lives.
Yeah, you're right. He's shooting this like very kind of pedestrian, like real. Oh, and also he didn't wake
rub
up.
And he didn't rub the banana peel on his face at all. like very,
because that was him in 2023, and now he's switched everything up. He actually became a new man.
Yes, he eats bananas now, and that's why.
Why do you spell Gaines like?
I think he lives in Miami.
Of course he does.
Okay,
Dude, I could have, if you gave me one guess.
They spell Gaines like that.
He spelled Gaines like Gainesville, my hometown.
I do think, there's like classic outrage bait elements, rubbing banana peel on his face, waking up at 2 a.m. Like
not having an iPad.
These are things like that kind of are, in modern social media, it's kind of a smart move because you're going to get like instant followers from people reposting like or sending it to their friends like, look at this crazy shit, right?
Yeah. Yet doesn't understand the concept of parroting videos at all.
It's so funny to watch that and be like, the Duolingo bird has stolen my whole shit.
Yeah, the Duolingo bird's trying to do what I do.
The Duolingo bird should have posted 4 meals, but they're all seeds. Come on, guys.
That's funny. I like that, man.
Hey, man.
Good job.
Anastasia, say something nice.
Nice to you.
Forget it. You don't even like me.
Sorry, guys. I'm signing a contract
your
right now
mustache
because I'm
looks
like
good
a
in
big
full.
freaking. I'm like a big deal, guys.
He's signing it for a one-on-one coaching.
Oh, are
Personalized.
you signing the contract right now?
Personal-ish.
Okay, thank you.
Are there any circumstances or like?
Well, the thing. Can you tell them we need to make it at least 10,000?
Oh yeah. Oh, just 10,000.
Once we get 10, we got 20.
Yeah, gotta get 20.
Yeah, is the coach? A lot of coaching is accounting.
Yeah, you're negotiating. You're like, actually, can I have 20,000? They're like, that's double. Yeah, well, no, actually, 30,000.
Oh, touche.
Well, we have clearly had a lot to say, and we probably could keep going forever, and we will.
You know what? This is an extra buff episode.
Yeah.
2 hours long.
True. And we're going to keep the good times rolling over on patreon.com/sadboys, where we're going to continue the show with Boyz Nightz. We may continue talking about Ashton Hall for a bit. We're going to play a few word games.
It'll be an extra buff episode.
Yeah.
Wait, that's so funny, Jordan. Wait, Anastasia, why didn't you think of that?
Come on, guys.
Good.
So what people really enjoyed. So on our last Boyz Nightz, we played Time Guesser a lot and also Gamedle. And we're going to play some more games today. And we're also just going to shoot the shit and probably watch more of these videos because I can't stop. Ify.
Any pluggies?
Yeah. Watch actually on Dropout. Listen to Our Relationship Pod with Emmy and Ify. And that's I think that's all I have so far. Yeah. And all the other podcasts I do.
Can we tease a special guest on this season of Actually?
Oh yeah. You're going to be on this current season, so watch out for Jarvis. And then, we'll have some other juicy things.
Say it rhymes with Kamala Harris is going to be on an episode.
Yeah. We shot this.
We got Bambala Barris.
Yeah.
Bo-Jiden.
Yeah, her team didn't figure out that we shoot so far in advance, so it's actually.
I'm feeling pretty good about it.
Yeah. Like, I can't wait till this goes live and you're our president.
I just fell out of a coconut tree.
We end every episode of Sadboyz with a particular phrase.
We love you.
And we're sorry.
Boom. People responded really well to us playing games, and we would love to do that more. Someone in the comments on the last episode recommended Redactyl, which is a game where a Wikipedia article has had a bunch of words censored. Oh, your mission is to unveil the title of the article with as few guesses as possible. So it's like golf. The global median for this Redactyl is 46 guesses.
Mm-hmm.
So blank, and then it has the pronunciation guide for it. So it's like something that has been translated into multiple languages.
Can we throw in known with a K? Not that there's another one. Okay.
Was known for.
We got a little bit.
So that's interesting.
Gucci girl, how you doing? How you moving, girl? Moving, girl. How's your day looking? That future girl, yeah, we on now. Take my money, go away, or you want it? Get you rich from me.